Hey guys, welcome back.
Welcome back to Banjo-Kazooie.
Yeah, we now have Banjo and Kazooie, two characters for the price of one. That's not true. They're actually one character.
They're two characters.
In this game. I mean, okay.
They're one fighter.
Here's the thing. They're considered one fighter, but they're two characters, yes. It's like Ice Climbers if they were called like Nana and Papa, but they're not. They're called the Ice Climbers.
His name's not Papa. I want to say it's Popo.
Yeah, well.
Popo and Nana.
My point is, Banjo-Kazooie has the longest name ever for some very inconceivable reason. They've decided that Banjo and Kazooie need to be said every time you
Well, if you
select a
just say
character.
Banjo-Kazooie, it sounds like it's one long name, but it's two characters.
I
That's the name of their
understand.
games.
I do get it.
That's the name of their games, but it does not mean that that's just what you call them collectively. Except that we do, generally.
Yeah, I think usually
Most people don't care that much. They'll just call them Banjo-Kazooie.
This is Dry Bowser, by the way.
Cool.
Who really should have been like a costume change for Bowser. I'm not sure why he isn't.
Yeah, that would have been good.
So this character came out, I think it was 2 days ago. And we were kind of like wondering if we should hold off once they announced the Direct on whether or not we should do our thing.
We delayed. We didn't do one last week for other reasons.
Yep. So the other reasons we didn't do one is because I broke a tooth. I've talked about this. Yeah, I've talked about this on a stream already. But I broke one of my teeth. It causes me a great amount of pain to speak for long periods of time. I'm still having to talk an awful lot.
Yeah, like, we don't want to slow down our update schedule too much because we're already kind of behind on a lot of things. And Josh does a lot of, social interaction. Mm-hmm. So, not talking forever would have been very rough. So it's basically just cutting his tongue every time he says something.
Yeah, basically.
I mean, I could just talk. I'm really happy about Banjo and Kazooie. They, for those who haven't seen them in action, Sakurai did another one of those videos where he just goes over every move. They work almost exactly how you would expect. If you have played a Banjo-Kazooie game that isn't about driving planes, if you played a real Banjo-Kazooie game, you know exactly how these guys work. And it is so smooth, it is intuitive, they feel exactly right. There's a few things that are tweaked to make sense in this context. You don't get to choose between fire and ice eggs, but you do get grenade eggs. You don't have the ability to separate them like you would in Banjo-Tooie, which is only in certain areas anyways. So it's it's obviously not everything's here, but all their basics are here. I keep forgetting that their ground pound is just their aerial down A and not down B.
Yeah. I keep thinking it's down B too.
I called the Ginginator being their final smash, the moment it became a serious thing that they were going to be in here. I was what else could it be? This is how you beat the boss at the end of the game.
The big Smash tournament meta players that I know have been talking about Banjo-Kazooie feels like a genuine character compared to a lot of the other characters that we've gotten lately, which it's not to say the other ones have been non-genuine characters, but they don't feel super smashy.
They feel like they were going for variety. They were going for something interesting and unique that kind of represents other genres.
Yeah, kind of. There's a lot of
with meters and
menus, and a lot of meter characters, and a lot of characters who have very particular things that they do where you have to be pinpoint accuracy to get things going.
You okay there, buddy?
No. I instantly jumped off the stage like a dum-dum. I don't know why that happened. It just did.
Yeah. The thing with Smash is that it's a fighter second. It's kind of a platformer first in the way that they've set it up in comparison to other fighters. And platform characters like
God,
Mario...
He edge-guarded me off. Okay, fuck this.
Almost all of the main...
I'm not going to play Banjo-Kazooie to get this going.
I can try
No. I'm going to play a different character. This is a legendary fight. I'm not sure if you noticed going in.
Yeah. You going to be Bowser against
Just going to change the party. No, I'm not. I'm not choosing Bowser. I'm gonna go Ganon. They're also a heavy character and they're fast. But what I was saying, what I was trying to say, is that people I've been talking to have been talking about Banjo and Kazooie, and they're like, it just feels like they're a very genuine fighter compared to like Hero, who was a lot of RNG, and some of his moves don't feel quite right when you do them. Like his up attack with his sword is like pinpoint accuracy. You have such a small hitbox. But it does a ton of damage for, like, whatever reason, and it's just really intense. As opposed to, like, Banjo-Kazooie, where it's like, okay, if you want to do, like, the Breagle Bash, you pull it out, it has an arc, you know exactly where it's hitting, it's close range, and you know exactly what kind of damage it's doing.
Yeah, it's, like, he fits in with, like, Mario and Kirby and Donkey Kong and Yoshi, and characters that are platformers, because that's kind of...
Which is what you would expect him to
Yeah, it's kind of the original intent of the way the system was set up to begin with.
Yeah.
And honestly, like, Banjo could have been in... Oh,
wow,
hey!
Okay, why is she here?
I don't know. She is. She's gotta put her somewhere. Anyways, it's like, if Banjo and Kazooie had been in the original Smash 64, they would have fit right in and would have been exactly relevant with the times.
This is probably how they would have played, too.
Yeah, like, everything... That's why they were basically the highest demand characters to get into Smash for, like, the entirety of Smash, is because they fit. They fit perfect.
They actually weren't the highest demand character.
Who is?
In fact, I think that...
Sonic, I guess.
Well, Sonic was one of them. But actually, as far as characters go, I think Banjo and Kazooie has always been popular in Western polls for that sort of stuff. But in Japan, they usually don't know who the hell this is.
Sakurai did.
This is one of those things... Yeah, well, this is one of those things where I'm just going to go ahead and point this out. Every so often, you will get a big, like, difference between... the Japanese and the Western market. I think I pointed this out at least a little bit ago, where I pointed out that like Little Mac was a good example of this, where when Little Mac was announced, you could go onto like Japanese image boards and see people talking about it, and they're like, who is this? Who actually is this character? Because none of us know. We have no idea who the fuck this is supposed to be. And they're like, what game is he even from? And like, wait, what was the last game he was even in? And all this other stuff. And that was Japan's reaction to Little Mac. And the West's reaction to Little Mac was, holy shit, it's Little Mac. Everybody knew who it was. Everybody likes Little Mac, etc., etc. But then for like Japan, it's like, who cares? And then that's kind of the reaction. The antithesis of that would be the hero, like the Dragon Quest hero coming in. Where it's like, in the US, we were like, who cares? And in Japan, they were like, well, not, I wasn't, and you weren't. But there were a lot of people in the US who were like, who cares? I barely know what this game is.
There were a lot of people who were like, why do they look like Goku?
And in Japan, they were flipping their shit because Dragon Quest is such a big franchise over there that there were laws pertaining to Dragon Quest. And parts of their country have changed as a result of that.
Yeah, you can't premiere a game on a weekday because then everyone skips school to get it.
Yeah. It's literally a law in Japan that was written specifically because of
Dragon Quest. These are adorable.
Yeah.
What did it say those were?
Let me check. Hold on. They are Reaper and Repet. I don't know.
I like that it has a baby.
Yeah.
Never talk to me or my son again.
Right.
Well, anyways, aside from like Sonic, which was always going to be the obvious Mario rival for America, this was like the biggest demand.
I think the big one actually on most of them was let's see, Cloud Strife was a big one. Which, I mean, it's weird, but that's always been... I feel like
people who are really into Final Fantasy are not super into Final Fantasy VII. You constantly hear people grumble about that.
I don't know about
I'm neutral to it. My favorite is 8, but like, there's like
really hard to say.
There's like an old Final Fantasy versus new Final Fantasy thing. So I wouldn't have expected Cloud to have been that high demand.
I don't know. Well, the other one, I'm pretty sure one of the really, really big ones was Mega Man? if I'm not mistaken, who did get in. I mean, he eventually.
And he is another like classic. This has been around since the beginning kind of character who started as original, like exclusively an NES character before PlayStation happened. Like, yeah, that makes sense too. But there was a point in time.
This is a Bayonetta enemy, by the way. I don't know if you noticed that.
Oh.
It's the big snake.
Fucking. Why are they
But
Mewtwo?
I don't know. He's
That's
Mewtwo
weird.
with a jetpack in here.
Okay, whatever.
Oh. Okay. Well, that's gonna be death for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. There it is.
It's a testament to Banjo's recovery that you hung there for a while.
Yeah. I bet that if I had been playing it well, I probably could have jumped all the way to the other side of the stage underneath it. That's something you're I think only supposed to be able to do that with Fox.
Huh.
That was one of the big.
I guess forward B and then up B.
Yeah. Well, it's one of the things where people
good.
always make a big deal out of Melee's recovery for Fox because he used to be able to do that, and it was like a big fucking thing.
I bet it's really tricky to pull off. I've never tried it.
I've never tried it either.
Yeah, those snakes are annoying.
Yeah, and they show up a lot. There's a ton of them in Bayonetta. Like, they just use those as a go-to mini-boss for part of the game, and it's like, oh my god, why? Please, stop. Skullman.
Have we not? I feel like I fought this thing on the spirit board.
I think I have
I feel like this sounds like a familiar fight.
Yeah, I think you are correct.
It said that was a reflect Samus, right?
Look like it, yeah?
Okay, so just don't use projectiles.
Yeah, maybe not using shooting attack up would be a good idea.
Yeah.
That's okay, because I haven't really been
eggs.
using the egg one, yeah.
Yeah, it's useful sometimes.
Yeah, it's usually pretty okay. I don't like that it has an arc if you want it to go far.
Bye.
But if you,
oh, there she is.
See ya? Yeah. If you want it to go far, it's it has an arc, and it's like, I don't like that. But if you want it to go straight, it goes way shorter, and it just kind of bothers me. Especially when there are better options in the move pool for Banjo-Kazooie that are, like, significantly better, if I'm to be honest.
Yeah, I feel like you get more, like, having any range at all on Banjo, the way they set them up, is just kind of utility.
Yeah.
Just sometimes you're not close enough, so it's better than, like, Little Mac, who can't do anything ranged.
Yeah, because most of his stuff is, like, right up against people.
Yeah,
And
he's a
like,
nice medium character. Like, he's got good recovery, he's, like, middleweight-ish?
No, he's heavyweight.
Is he heavy?
Yeah.
Okay. He
so
doesn't feel that heavy.
Here's the thing, and I only realized this when I was, like, talking to somebody about this, and I was really, like, playing the character at the same time. He is heavy, but he's fast, which is a weird combination.
Huh.
He is an incredibly heavy, fast character.
Well, I mean, Wonder Wing kind of implies that Kazooie is getting in on that, and when he does Talon Trot, that's literally Kazooie. So, like, yeah, because it's two characters, and what it's always been a big part of the setup for Banjo-Kazooie is that Banjo is, like, usually, like, just, he's footwork.
Yeah.
And then he's got, like, a bear claw thing. Yep. And then almost every other thing that's offensive or maneuverably, I don't know how to say. Yeah, it's like she hits things with her beak way more often than Banjo hits anything at all. Yeah. And her wings are a large part of most gameplay. Yeah. Because it's platformer.
Oh, Wario's here. That's weird.
Yeah, it's weird we didn't have him. Yeah. I forgot.
Huh. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just we've never found Wario prior to this, and now we're finding him, and he's here.
Yeah, why
are you in Castlevania, dude?
It definitely feels like the second half of World of Light is just characters they didn't have a space on the first map for.
Right?
Yeah, and it's like, I don't know, they could have, I mean, I can't really criticize much about this game in general, because first of all, they're still adding things.
Yeah, and it's
like, they just added
really
Home Run Contest. Like, I can't really say too much, but, like, it feels like World of Light specifically should have been bigger than it is.
Maybe.
Like,
I feel like there should have been more cutscenes.
Yes, absolutely. There was, like, a vast amount of opportunity, and they were only able to get to, like, half of them, but they can't really patch World of Light the way they could patch in, like, other game modes, because this is kind of self-contained.
Yeah.
What's going on here?
Surrounding areas.
Oh,
it's because I hit the little thing.
Yeah. It'll repair walls or whatever. Okay.
A nondescript Zora. Actually, this area makes a lot of sense for Zoras to show up in. This is the in the original Castlevania, once you go into the underground, it's a series of mine shafts with rickety bridges, and Gilman are everywhere.
Sure. It's like a flooded catacomb or something.
Yep.
All right.
It is incredibly flooded. In fact, this area has a ton of like open areas. It's one of, I think it's one of the only general areas that I can think of in Castlevania where if you fall through a pit, you are guaranteed dead. Outside of like, I mean, early like there are some very high areas obviously in the game where that's gonna definitely be a case, but like it's there are a lot of open pits as well that I'm gonna say. And they lead to water, but you still die because
it's not a game of swimming.
Yeah, Simon can't swim.
I have a Greninja now.
Ooh.
Kind of unrelated to everything I've been playing through Pokemon X.
Greninja, so.
His name is Slice. It started out as being like Samurai Slice, like when you like run up to someone and do the thing.
Yeah.
And over time, I realized he's you know, like one Animal Kingdom away from Ninja Turtle. So now it's Slices and Pizza Slice.
Ooh.
And for the Kanto starter they give you when you meet Professor Sycamore, I chose,
nice.
Oh, yeah, there we go. I chose a Squirtle, because I'm almost always a water starter person. And his name is Gunshot. So it's Gunshot and Slice.
Nice.
So they're, I don't know, they're brothers and they're good.
Shooty, shooty, stab, stab.
Yes, basically. Especially because Mega Blastoise has like the cannons on his arms too.
Yeah, Mega Blastoise, how do you feel about that design, by the way?
I feel like Blastoise was already kind of inherently silly because he was literally just a giant Bowser turtle with just guns sticking out of his back. And they just made him like slightly more guns. Slightly bigger cannon in the middle and then put some on the arms, which is kind of silly. It's like, sure.
I have seen some people redesign Blastoise, by the way, which is, I mean, it's sacrilege, but I've seen some people
redesign Pokemon all the time, whatever.
I've seen some people do some really good redesigns of Blastoise where they reimagine the cannons on his back as being shells. Not like turtle shells, but like
mortar shells?
No. Like sea creature shells.
Oh, like scallops or something?
Yeah, well, not quite scallops. It's the like spiral ones.
Oh, conchs.
Yeah, like conch shells.
Sure, whatever. I think part of the point of it is that you know, it was the 90s and they hadn't really established the way they wanted to do things. That just, it has guns was kind of just an escalation of the monster concept.
I've also seen people suggest that there is no reason that Blastoise shouldn't be, at least now, a water steel type.
That would make sense. And I have an Empoleon in Platinum who is good as hell once you realize that you gotta focus on defense and not like pure offense like I usually do.
Their water steel, I think, has the most well, last I checked, which was in like 4th gen, had the most resistances out of any type combination in the game.
Is that true?
I don't know if it's still true. It used to be true.
Yeah, I don't, because Fairy kind of shook things up. And also, I guess you wouldn't count things like having Levitate as being a type resistance?
No, you don't.
Okay.
It's not a resistance either, that's an immunity.
Yeah, no, there's some really good combos, like if you've got a ground Pokemon with Levitate, which I want to say is just going to be Flygon and Claydol. Claydol is also genderless, which means it's immune to Attract. And then you just get in, just the general ground type can't be hit by electricity. It's like, you've got a ton of stuff, but I guess it doesn't all count as being the typings, because there's so many other things going on to get that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Water Steel is super good.
Water Steel is incredibly good.
If at the very least Mega Blastoise had been Water Steel, because it's not, right? It's just Water Steel.
No, and it should be Water Steel. I don't understand that.
Yeah, no, that would have been great.
Everything else gets like Venusaur doesn't get a type change, but like
Mega
Charizard did.
It was already a dual type at least. because it was grass and poison, which, you know, was never actually that good. Like,
no,
half
it's
the
terrible.
grass Pokemon in first gen
almost
poison.
every grass Pokemon is grass and poison.
Yeah.
It is a worthless typing that nothing should have, in my opinion.
It's basically just, hey, you got a cool grass-type Pokemon? Alright, don't get earthquaked, because it's poison.
Yeah.
But, like, we always had the grass poison on Venusaur and fire flying on Charizard, and it was always just pure water for Squirtles and Fire Lines.
It's
like,
so weird.
They missed, it's such a weird thing that they just missed that opportunity a million times.
Yeah. And they just kept missing it, like, over and over.
Yeah, because you've also got, for alligators, just pure water.
Yeah.
And then they caught on with Swampert being ground. And
you say
that's
for
amazing.
alligators pure water, but all of the starters in Gen 2 were pure types.
You know what? Yeah.
Yeah.
Weird.
Yeah, it was one of the only generations, to my knowledge, that did that as well, and it was, honestly, that was a really bad choice.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm not sure what you would have added to, like, Typhlosion. Meganium could easily be fairy type now. It kind of looks like it.
It doesn't really make any sense, but they could have potentially made it ground and fire. And I think some people wouldn't
like
have
a weird
that too much
burrowing animal.
Yeah, because it is supposed to be a badger, so it's like, eh.
Yeah. Sorry that we've derailed everything with just Pokemon talk.
Sorry about that.
It's the easiest thing to talk about, like, ever.
Well, when it comes to things like this, yeah.
Yeah, I will probably start talking much, much more about Banjo and Kazooie when we see their stage later.
Yeah, but that won't be until later. We could talk about Castlevania, but I don't think either of us knows enough about Castlevania.
We've seen the Netflix.
I mean, that's true.
And I've played Cave Story.
Okay, you say that's all, or whatever, but that actually I've seen more than just the Netflix series.
Do we want to talk about the next fighter that's been announced?
Oh yeah, we can talk about Terry Bogard.
I don't have any. The only SNK character I know anything about is Athena, and everything I know about Athena I learned in a video we did.
Yeah, we did a video. For those of you who haven't seen it, we've done a video about Athena. It's pretty good. It was part of Waifu Month. Was it 2 years ago?
I believe so.
And it was pretty good. I like that. It was a nice Waifu Month.
We weren't good at that game, but like she's a neat character. Like, just, you know, that was our historical waifu for that month.
Yeah.
But
this has changed.
we knew, what, like 2 or 3 days in advance of the Nintendo Direct that the new character was going to be SNK because it was just suddenly added to the copyright info under the Smash Dojo.
Well, somebody fucked up pretty bad because they
sprinkled it there and giggled and tiptoed away.
So that's some of the argument is like whether or not somebody did that intentionally or not. But yes, there was a potential accident made, which was in the release information for it, which was literally just like, hey, there's a character coming out, it's going to be like this and this and this. They put the SNK copyright at the bottom of the page, and people were like, okay, this could mean a lot of things. The most potential of these is that it's an SNK character.
Aw, Frankenstein's got a friend.
Yep. That would be...
Is that just how it looks? This is the Castlevania iteration of Frankenstein's monster?
Yeah, so this is the Castlevania version of Frankenstein's monster is called the Creature. And the thing on his back is called Fleaman. Fleaman are regular enemies. The Creature is a specific individual who just shows up a lot.
Is he wearing a Jason mask?
Yeah, it looks like it.
Huh. That kind of works.
A little bit.
From what very little I know about Jason.
Jason Voorhees.
Kind of is Frankenstein, right?
Okay. He's a zombie.
Frankenstein's just a science zombie.
You kind of consider Frankenstein just a science
Silent,
zombie?
sympathetic, large zombie.
Yeah, kind of.
Well, no, actually, in the books, Frankenstein's monster does get chatty sometimes.
Yeah, he talks enough to be really unsettling.
In movies, it's usually just grunts.
Yeah. And, in The Munsters.
I'm pretty sure Herman Munster has an entire family tree. I'd have to look it up.
He actually does. I'm almost positive.
I'd have to look it up, but I think maybe it's like 2 Frankensteins copulated into a regular biological child that's also a Frankenstein.
But yeah, the Creature is a thing in Castlevania, and Fleamen are a thing. Don't know why they paired them together, but I think there might be a fight in one of the Castlevanias that is the creature, and then there are flea men in the stage.
Yeah, like this doesn't
so that
look.
Might be it.
This doesn't look like they took 2 clip arts and just put one on top of the other.
No.
Like this looks like they were drawn that way, so it's like
they just
been
gave
buddied up.
Yeah, they buddied him up.
It's kind of cute.
It is a little adorable. Flea men are terrifying. They're like weird hoppy humanoids, and it's really unsettling to see them.
Just Toad from X-Men.
What?
I don't know why. That was a weird way for that to trip.
Yeah, that's unusual. Wait a minute, did I have an option to go... Oh no, okay, it's just up and down. Alright.
Who is it?
I don't know. It's Ridley.
Weird. What you doing here?
Huh.
Everybody's here.
Yeah. Everybody's here. That was the tagline for this game.
Yeah, for Castlevania.
Yeah, for Castlevania. Everybody's here.
Anyways, back to
Simons, you got your Trevors. Sorry, go ahead.
We knew that it was going to be an SNK character.
Yeah.
And that's a company with so many characters that could be considered a main character or a mascot, right?
Yes. Here's the thing, and I've seen a lot of people point this out in the past. People don't really talk a lot about SNK unless you're into fighting games, for the most part.
Yeah, in America, they're not a big presence.
No, they're pretty big in America, actually. They're kind of niche everywhere, I want to say. Neo Geo is the console that SNK used to do, and they don't do Neo Geo consoles anymore.
I know there was a portable of it in the late 90s.
Too long ago. Yeah, there was a recent one too, but it didn't do very well. Yeah.
Recent Neo Geo.
Yes, indeed. It was within the last 10 years. I forget how long ago exactly it was. Yeah, people forget.
For Neo Geo, that would be weirdly recent.
Yeah. But what wound up happening, what I've heard a lot of people point out is that in terms of mascot characters, like in terms of recognizable IPs, people typically take Nintendo to be the highest above all. Mm-hmm. And that is, if you're going to do like, oh, we're going to have, fighting game stuff, Nintendo's your company of choice. Like if you're just, doing fighting IPs and stuff like that. People talked about this a lot when PlayStation was getting in on it. And people were like, PlayStation doesn't actually have very many recognizable IPs.
Yeah,
or, this or that.
Featuring Dante from Devil May Cry.
Yeah, it was a big thing. Because Sony doesn't actually own those.
Yeah,
they just happen to be on Sony consoles.
They didn't own Spyro and Crash Bandicoot. Or
I don't think either of them showed up in that game.
Didn't they?
No, I don't think that they did. No, I think Crash
but
was
like
not.
they couldn't use Snake because Snake was in Smash. They had to use Raiden.
Well, they could have used Snake, but I think it was Kojima told them that because he's in Smash, he was like, "Nah, you guys get Raiden instead." And they're like, "All right."
Which sounds like an intentional snub.
A little bit.
But yeah, like SNK though.
Yeah. SNK is, as people have pointed out, if we were to go off of companies with recognizable IPs that could do crossover fighting games, right? Mm-hmm. The number one is Nintendo. SNK is a very close second, but the problem is that it's not as big as Nintendo, so people forget about it. But it actually has recognizable characters out the wing. It's got so many games and so many characters, and they do crossover fighters constantly. And people just either aren't aware or don't really care.
They kind of all look the same because a lot of them are fighting games. So if you're not distinctly interested in that, you just kind of look at them all, and it's like trying to explain to someone how Soul Calibur and Tekken are different, but they both have Yoshimitsu.
Yeah.
Except times 5.
Well, you say that, but one of the franchises that SNK characters show up in is Tekken.
Okay.
That happens.
When is Yoshimitsu getting into Smash?
Yoshimitsu is not getting into Smash.
Link is in Soul Calibur, and no one from there is crossed over to it.
Well, you can get HAHHHHH costumes in this game.
Wait, I don't remember that.
I think, okay, maybe that was Smash 4, actually. Okay. I don't remember.
If anyone from Tekken gets in, I don't want it to be HAHHHH. That feels boring.
Yeah, well, as an example of characters, by the way, that showed up in Tekken that are from SNK, Geese Howard.
I don't know.
He was in the trailer for Terry.
Yeah, there were a
He's
lot
the guy
of guys
who fell
in that
off
trailer.
the building. The one who reached for it and was like grinning and then accidentally slipped and fell off a building instead. People have been making jokes about either he fell into his pile of money and survived, or he fell into Tekken 7. Because Geese Howard is in a lot of games. He's arguably one of their biggest, like, cameo sort of characters that they use a lot. The other one being Terry. Terry shows up in a lot of stuff. Athena shows up a lot, and some of the main characters from...
the Banjo-Kazooie tagline up there in the back of this, because everyone gets a unique one. Just laid-back animals?
I think they actually get more than one unique one.
Oh, okay. Because that's not really what I'd call them.
Yeah.
Because first of all, Kazooie is not laid back.
Not really.
And also, referring to them as animals seems like it's kind of, like, downplaying a lot of the weird things about them.
They got a spike, by the way.
Yeah,
it's really
bear
good.
claws.
It's Mario's spike. That's his air tilt.
They also get Donkey Kong's roll.
Yeah, right.
It's
Like
just,
they're borrowing certain attacks, but they're really good.
Yeah, it's just things that make sense for their legacy.
Yeah,
because Banjo and Kazooie were made by Rare, who did the Donkey Kong games.
I just wanted to point it out because
he was kind of like a spiritual successor competitor to Mario 64. It all fits. I mean, Athena wasn't in the Terry trailer.
No, well, I don't think she was. I don't remember.
There was a girl, but like,
yeah, but
I'm not familiar with these
here's
characters.
the thing. There's 2 Athenas, and I don't think that was the other one, but it may have been.
We should have looked it up.
Yeah, there are 2 Athenas. One of them is like a weird Japanese schoolgirl who's now an idol. So she wears some really weird clothing, and it's supposed to be the original Athena's reincarnation and descendant.
Oh, okay, so it's an Inuyasha scenario,
Sort of. So, like, you have Goddess of Victory Athena, and then you have Japanese schoolgirl Athena, who has psycho powers.
Kikyo and Kagome, got it.
Sort of.
And you can have both at once because of magic and time
travel. Actually, they do both show up in King of Fighters games.
I fully assumed so.
Yeah, it happens.
Yeah, like, our main guess was obviously not it.
Yeah, we were thinking Athena, but my secondary guess was like a Metal Slug character, maybe Theo, because I think that's the one that people like.
I felt like Metal Slug as an aesthetic would not be prioritized because it's like a realistic shoot bang gun game, and people have been screaming for Doom Guy for like the last year. Like, I feel like...
Well, as SNK characters, when we knew it was SNK characters, those were my guesses.
Yeah, but I felt like I'm still kind of holding out for Doom Guy showing up at some point, so they're too similar, which I guess is not a good argument because people have already started calling Terry Ken in a hat. So it's like, similarities don't necessarily block you out.
Terry's not Ken in a hat, by the way. They look similar. Ken, I don't like the way Ken looks comparatively.
Well, arguably, I would say that Doom Guy and Metal Slug characters aren't really the same either, but they fill a niche.
Hold on real fast. I just want to point out how much I love that you can do the fucking up B for Banjo and Kazooie. Yeah, and then go into a normal jump. It is so useful.
Yeah.
It feels so good.
And it makes sense.
Yeah, because that's not actually,
it's weird that you can summon those and there's a delay
jump.
and they float. But yeah, it's...
I want to get rid of this gun so bad. Okay. I tried like 3 times to throw it, and K-Rool was bouncing it off of him and back into me.
That's great.
It was super annoying.
And it makes sense so that you can use the spring pad and then fly. Well, not full-on fly. That's a different pad. But you can do that. Nice.
Yeah, I figured I may as well because he was low enough in health that a single egg would have killed him.
Anyways, the point of those in the actual Banjo-Kazooie games is that you can get into places, but it's like sometimes you need to get really high and then kind of glide down. So yes, you should be able to still use your other jumps.
Yeah, exactly.
Because he's a platformer. A platformer that's based partially on the fact that... Can you go
just
up
straight
that?
Up death.
The fireplace?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
I don't know where it's going to take me, but yeah.
Boo.
Oh, it takes me to Boo.
Just a little baby Boo. Just one of him. He's invisible and his shield is durable. Okay, whatever.
And it's a Kirby. This is a little great Kirby. And I'm
that makes
beat
sense.
Him up. It's okay. It's adorable.
Yeah. Weird that they didn't put this in Luigi's Mansion if they're using Luigi's Mansion.
I think this is
song.
Actually.
Well, this is still a Mario stage.
Yeah, I was gonna say I know this is a Mario stage. I know that.
And they usually hang out in haunted houses with weird platforms, so it still makes sense. But it's like they're doing the song. Just stick them in Luigi's Mansion.
Fair enough.
Well, it's a more annoying stage to fight on, so I guess this one's fine. Doesn't have
I think this one might
bits.
actually be like not quite Boo themed, but I think this is it's supposed to be like a clock tower from one of the Mario games, and I think Boos show up here like really heavily in those games.
Okay.
Like the games where this kind of thing shows up, because people forget, but Boos used to be one of those enemies that they would throw down not just in like haunted mansions, dark pits. Yeah, that's weird.
I forgot Dark Pit was in this game.
Yeah, he's not an Echo Fighter either. How weird is that?
Is he not?
No.
I thought he was.
No, he gets his own.
No,
space.
I'm pretty sure he's an Echo Fighter.
Oh wait, okay, no. He's an Echo Fighter in this one and wasn't considered an Echo Fighter in the other game.
Because there weren't Echo Fighters yet. They didn't delineate that in 4.
Well, yeah, but he was different from Pit in the other game. Him and Pit actually had different movesets, and they made him an Echo Fighter in this game by changing his moveset. Yes.
Huh.
If I remember correctly.
I don't know. We skipped that game. We skipped the entire Wii U console.
I want to say the thing that Sakurai tried to do was like, okay, so Pit has, these weapons, and Dark Pit has the weapons from the other, like the list of weapons.
Oh, right, because it's got a huge variety of weapons.
Yeah, because it has a bunch of different weapon types is the idea. So I think he had like the hammers or whatever the hell they are.
I know his Final Smash is a little different.
Yeah, I think his Final Smash is. I think most characters have.
Can I point something out about Banjo and Kazooie real quick? Do the Breagle Bash. Do their smash.
Sorry, hold on.
I just kind of want to point out that's a secret move. In Banjo-Tooie, after you've gotten all the eggs and taken them to the giant chicken and she gives you your unlockables, that's like, I want to say the final secret move. You just have it.
Whipping Kazooie out by her neck and slamming her into people.
Yeah, the Smash content for Banjo and Kazooie has been predominantly for the first game, which makes sense because it's the first game of 2 plus Apocrypha. And it's like a lot of their stages from the first game. Most of their moves are from the first game. That one move, which makes sense for them to have as a Smash moveset, it's from the second game and you don't normally get it. So it just bugs me. But the other option would just be giving Banjo like just a big paw swipe, and he already has a bunch of those.
Yeah.
So like it's out of necessity, but it is still weird. And it's, like, I think the point of it having been a secret move to begin with is because it's kind of mean. It's a joke move.
It is. It's like very obviously a joke.
It's a joke move, and I guess the idea is, like, Kazooie is the best character that has ever been made in fiction, but, like, the idea is she's rude to everyone, so it's supposed to be kind of like, I guess, a comeuppance of,
kind of like a payback for like, oh, well, you're so rude, so nobody really,
she's not really
minds the fact that he's literally slamming you into people.
She's not rude to Banjo, though.
No, not Banjo.
I mean, usually. A little bit, not a lot. They live together. They have an understanding.
They're friends. She lives in his backpack.
I don't agree with shipping them.
No.
I feel like there's no chemistry there. Some people ship them, and I'm like, they're bros.
Yeah.
They're bros, and one of them's a girl. That's it.
Do you want to do the rest of this castle?
How much time do we even have?
Not a lot, but we'll go until we hit the end of the time.
All right.
I actually thought that this entire thing was going to be just this, and that we would finish it relatively quick. We might actually extend this castle into like 3 episodes. It's really
extensive,
weird. It's a big one, yeah.
Let's see.
You can change Nightmare if you want to also.
I kind of like Lifesteal. I feel like that'll work. You know what? Critical, because this is gonna be suddenly you take a bunch of damage.
Yeah.
That might be good.
So it'll probably quadruple your stats or something like that.
Yeah.
Death, by the way, is a weird character in Castlevania. He is an actual character, like he is himself. If you take sudden damage, by the way, remember that you have the invincibility thing.
Yeah.
just as a warning.
Of course I have Wonder Wing, but only for
remember
5
Wonder Wing.
uses.
Yeah, but if you suddenly take a ton of damage like that, then it's useful. Sorry, I thought you were both gonna take a ton of damage.
Why would death suddenly?
Okay.
Woo.
Because.
Let me try that again.
Also, that scythe of his is
yeah, that's kind of what the scythe does. I forgot.
As a warning, yeah. That's like an auto kill, basically, over a certain period. Or a certain amount of damage.
I usually don't use your controller for this, by the way, so
sorry.
if it feels like I'm a little off, that's part of it. We practiced with Banjo and Kazooie yesterday before we did all this, but it's like, I use GameCube layout. Josh uses Pro Controller.
Yep.
Okay, get over here. Oh, fuck. That was stupid. That was me.
If you want me to take it, I will.
No, it's okay. I 100%ed as a child both Banjo games, except for the very final Cheeto page in Banjo-Tooie, which is understandable if you know those games, that it's the last Canary Mary race. No one really needs to count that as something you have to do.
Huh.
That is a legendary bullshit race. It's a button masher race, because you're in like a wind-up car, and you wind it by pressing the button. And
so
it's
like a button mashing thing.
Ultimate broken. Nice. I need to remember that the grenade eggs are there.
Yeah. I feel like the grenade eggs aren't as useful as they could be.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just
I constantly think that I'm gonna ground pound when I'm using down B.
Well, I keep forgetting that they have to come out from behind, like 100% of the time.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a flea man in the background.
Yeah.
And there's the creature.
They hang out together, I guess.
I guess so.
There we go. This staircase is actually perfect.
Yeah, actually, this staircase has saved me so many times in certain fights.
Alright, yeah, you go ahead.
If I have to do fights on this stage, the staircase has saved me so many times. I have no idea why it's so useful. The AI freak out on that staircase and have no idea what they're doing.
I sometimes don't know what I'm doing on that staircase, to be fair.
Yeah.
The angle of it is weird.
AI.
To be fair, for like just assessing that staircase, like the angle of it is weird, where like a lot of moves kind of don't work on it, but the grenade eggs plop right down it perfectly.
Yeah.
You just got to remember to turn around, which is how it works if you remember Banjo-Kazooie, so it works out fine.
Oh fuck. That was fast, actually. You know what? I'm changing the party.
Okay. Have you bothered looking at any of the faces that Banjo and Kazooie make when you get hit by big enough things?
No.
Like in some of the other characters' final smashes or in the close-ups, just anytime they get hit real hard, they bug out, and it's like, yeah, they put a lot of effort into making these guys look really good.
Yeah.
Also, how great is it that we dodged a bullet on them not having their nuts and bolts appearance?
I like that, but I never thought that was going to be an option. Like, honestly, with Sakurai being the way that he was, like, I wholly expect him not to.
Yeah, but Microsoft
yeah.
could have wanted that if they wanted to be on brand. Because that's the version that shows up in the, what is it, Sonic and Sega All-Star Racing featuring Sonic and Banjo-Kazooie. Yeah, the Xbox version of the Sonic Racing. Excuse me, the Sega Racing. There's a difference, kind of?
Sort of.
Sort of. The one that's Sonic and Crazy Taxi, as opposed to Sonic and Sonic.
Which is a thing now.
Yes, it's just Sonic and Cars without any of the crossovers. Which is, I don't see the point when there were already Sonic racing games that weren't in cars. And Sonic is faster than a car?
None of the Sonic racing games that aren't in cars are very good. Is part of it, I think.
Okay, I haven't played, like, Sonic Riders.
Well, Sonic Riders are okay, but Sonic Racing, like, that's a real
just, like,
franchise.
on foot.
Yeah, it's not good. It's actually...
Is that where Tailstall comes from?
I think it might be. I think it might
Tailstall is great because it's known like 99% for being the edgy thing that people put into their creepypastas about Sonic.
Well, that's one of the earliest, most original like internet creepypastas ever. Was the Tailstall
thing. And it was just a secret character in Sonic Racing, right?
Yeah. I think there was like Japanese posts years and years ago that were like, oh, well, if you choose this, then you're gonna die or whatever.
Yeah, because it's just like it just hangs there and is unexplained.
It looks really unpleasant. I will point that out. Okay, so when we come back, I guess.
Yeah, let's not do this all at once.
Yeah, when we come back, that's going to be Dracula's room in the castle. That's the staircase up to it. There is a lot of garbage going on with the clockwork stuff, which is totally Castlevania as well, by the way. And then this little bridge hanging over to it starts with Leon Belmont. So I'm going to guess that at least some of these are going to be the actual Belmonts, which will be fun.
Sorry that you handed me the controller and was like, you want to take the rest? And I, did not win
it's
once.
Fine.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine.
Let's go into the skill tree. I want to make sure that there's nothing we wanted to do in here. I'm going to sneeze. Pardon me.
You're pardoned.
We have critical health, health with slash attacks, critical, easy perfect shield, activities up, stats after eating go up, perfect shield recovery, special move power up, airborne endurance, weapon resist, critical health attack, sprinting endurance. Let's do airborne endurance.
Yeah, that seems like it's useful for a lot of the way I play.
Yeah, I was thinking it.
Both because I use Peach and because Banjo has just good recovery. K-Rool too.
Air attack, super easy dodging, landing lag, undamaged specials, neutral attack up, improved escape, air attack up. You know what? The air attack up is probably.
It goes well with what we just did for airborne endurance.
Yeah. And then we have 20, which actually is enough for some things. We could do improved escape, which might be good. I think that's the only one we can actually afford right now. So let's do that.
Okay.
Yeah. So we're getting closer and closer.
What's that thing in the middle there? Neutral attack. Okay.
Yeah, which is actually, it's also pretty good.
Yeah.
We're getting closer and closer to filling out our sphere grid. Like just completely filling it out. We got all the best ones already, so I don't think it matters too much.
Yeah, it's just completion.
Yeah. And then we got activities that we want to finish, I guess, so we'll finish these.
I am neutral to doing these.
Yeah, honestly.
We can do these off screen at any time.
Yeah, we honestly could. And honestly, I probably should start doing these off screen, but I feel like it's fun to just look at it.
You like
sometimes.
arranging clip art.
A little bit. There's a part of me that enjoys that. Wow. We got a bunch of money. That was it. I'm not going to set any of these again. I think we'll just come back and see what I set after when we're not doing it anymore. And we'll see if they're funny. I don't know. Mission complete. Bunch of items. Yeah. So, you know what? Let's just go straight into the fight. You want to just go straight into the fight?
Let's do it.
Okay. I'll just... Because I realized I only had the one left, so it's fine. This is the one that was all Ridley's, by the way. I don't know if you remember.
Oh, yeah.
They found a lot of snacks. Nice. Okay. So we'll go into the thing now.
Yeah.
So go back into doing our typical fight that we do, where it's just you versus me.
This is what usually happens is I play terribly in World of Light, and then we come into here and I try and redeem myself, and have 50-50 chance of me doing so.
Yep.
All right.
Wait, mine. Oh. There we go.
All right,
wait. You selected balloon fight a second.
No, I didn't touch anything. I did not touch anything. You did not give me a chance to.
Hold on.
Yeah. What did you do?
Oh, wow.
No, that was the second.
Oh, that's the second one. Oh.
No, you just did the same thing twice.
Oh, okay. Okay. Let me do what I want to do real quick. There. Now you make your selection.
All right, because it's important to me that we get to Spiral Mountain.
I agree.
I don't know
Spiral Mountain is incredibly important.
I don't know if people have noticed, but I really, really, really like Banjo-Kazooie.
I agree, and it's a good song.
You agree that I like it?
Yes.
Alright, because I'm gonna play as
the other character who was confirmed. Hey, guess who's in Smash now? It's
you.
Sans from Undertale. Why is this a thing? We've gone this whole time without talking about it, but why?
Thank you for going this whole time without talking about it.
Why did they do this? Why is he here? Who made this choice?
We know who made this choice.
Yeah, well, it was Sakurai, but
because he was defeated in
I was
combat,
gonna say,
I
did
guess.
you see that? There was a whole thing where Sakurai was talking about it, and he's like, Toby Fox came to my house and beat me up, and it's like, holy shit, why?
Yeah, I don't know. I guess that's just how it works. Ah, there we go.
Toby Fox just came to his house and he beat him up, and he put Sans in Undertale. Way to go, Toby Fox.
There we go.
Oh,
there's a good range on the Gingerino.
Yeah, actually, his Final Smash's range is a little ridiculous, if I'm to be real.
As an update, we say it every so often because it keeps coming up. We have not played Undertale.
No, we have
I have
not.
spent most of the existence of Undertale actively avoiding it and the people who talk about it. Because it's like 100% memesters talking about shit I don't understand, and it's like, whatever.
Oh.
I've already read Homestuck,
died.
that's enough. I don't even remember what the Gunner's Smash looks like.
Like this.
Oh. Okay. Can I talk about how the dragonfly back there, the Buzz Bomb, is not from Spiral Mountain, and they did not put actual Spiral Mountain enemies on Spiral Mountain?
Yeah, it's weird.
It should be an onion who's...
Or a carrot.
I don't remember the onion's name, and a cauliflower named Collywobble, and a carrot named Topper.
Yeah.
And they're the tutorial enemies, basically. I'm not letting you beat me.
You're not letting Sans beat Banjo?
No. Anyways, people have actively been, like, sponsoring the us playing Undertale push. Because it's both I grump about it, like, it was like, no, you kids and your memes, and we also know very little about it, so we'd be mostly unspoilered. People just kind of want to see us do that, and it's like, we haven't yet, for various reasons related to stuff. It's not like us, like, putting it off, it's just like we got a full schedule of
we have a lot
things.
of other things that we have been doing.
Yeah, it's just a lot. So, like, just... Eventually, we will be bullied into playing Undertale, and it might work like the bullied into playing Minecraft stuff that's happening. Also, Minecraft Steve is not in this game.
Yeah, no, okay, thank God for that, at the very least.
I feel like there's not enough you could do to get a moveset working for that.
I bet you could. I bet there's enough.
Oh, I walked into that. Oh, I thought I was going to just hit you, and I walked into that.
Yeah. I kind of figured you might.
Yeah, no, it's because I'm not paying attention.
Zoning.
Yeah. No.
Yeah. Enjoy it. Is this a glitch, by the way? I think we've noticed that before, right? Like,
yeah, some things just do that.
Where it's like, if you just keep... Oh, God.
Yeah.
Oh, well, he's dead.
Yeah. I made a comeback. Or
all right.
My friend Dracula Jr. made a comeback.
Okay.
Yeah, this is the Gruntilda skin for Banjo. He's even got, her scarf for his pants. It's very cute.
This might be the weirdest end screen we've ever had. I'm just gonna say.
Look at him clapping a gun.
It's just,
The Undertale characters clearly aren't intended to be 3D, so it looks so very weird.
We're living in a universe where Sans from Undertale is in Super Smash Brothers.
And he was released at the same time as Banjo and Kazooie, who honestly could have been in the N64 game and just haven't been this entire time.
I'm confused.
We didn't show it, but one of the other Banjo skins, like they're supposed to kind of represent other characters in the series. One of them is white. It's a polar bear. It's Boggy, and I was like, I knew the only other bear in the game other than Judy.
So final thoughts.
I love Banjo-Kazooie.
Banjo-Kazooie's pretty great.
I like to pretend that Undertale's not real.
We're gonna play that eventually.
Yeah, we'll see if I actually like it or not.
Yeah.
So far, it's just you kids and your memes, get off my lawn.
Yeah. Outside of that, I got nothing else.
Can't wait for the next season of Fighters, because that's happening.
Well, we didn't talk very much about it, but I like Terry Bogard, is what I was going to say. That's basically the
I've never met him. He seems fine.
He's okay. He's got his power geyser.
He's got a hat.
Yeah. All right. Good night, everybody.
Good night.